Hello and welcome to edumate.tv. I'm Chetan Shah. We learn to live and live to learn in what has turned out to be an unprecedented situation, an unprecedented pandemic, with history being written across the geography of Mother Earth. And a minor virus has created a major catastrophe, making each and every one of us rewind, rethink, reboot, reformat, restructure before we rebuild a new norm, a new life in the world of education, particularly in higher education, where the challenges are unique, the solutions also thereby need to be unique, and also there has to be the element and the desire and the need to create opportunities in the new world. To do that, it's important not just to have the strong past, which brings in the experience and knowledge, but also it's required to have a very flexible thinking mind for the future, to be able to expect, evolve, and embrace the new normal. And that's what makes, at the helm of higher education, our very wise Chancellor. Today we have a very special guest from Kaithal, Haryana. Joining us is Dr. S.K. Goyal, the RKSD College. Thank you, sir, for joining us. What a pleasure to have you on our show.
Good morning.
It's been trying times, to say about the least, but these times bring in several opportunities. Tell us about your experience in the post-COVID environment.
It all started in our region in beginning second week of March, when we were organizing an NSS camp, and we were planning to clean a village around 10 kilometers from Kaithal. And then the word spread that the coronavirus has arrived in this region of India also. And we utilized the very first day in sensitizing our volunteers about the virus, what is the difference between virus and bacteria, how it spreads, the basics, to the students. And we spread that camp from a single location to a number of locations around district Kaithal. And we instructed the volunteers to go to their homes and help their communities with all information that we provided them. And it all started with our students working for safety of their families and for safety of their communities, at the same time taking interest in their studies.
That's a great start, but they say that well begun is only half done. What were the response measures then in the world of education, particularly because everybody's forced to go online, the teachers needed to be trained, students needed to be acclimatized, of course, that very strong impediment of insufficient digital infrastructure also looming large.
Suddenly, we had to confront the problem of connecting with our students. For the last 2 or 3 years, our teachers were used to connecting with their students through social media like Facebook and WhatsApp groups. During the lockdown, the teachers, they made WhatsApp group with their students in the class and connected with them, and they communicated to them the study material, as well as they counseled the students to allay their fears and at the same time remain safe from the problems or effects of the COVID-19.
Talk us through the institution RKSD. It's situated very close to Delhi, in Kaithal, in Haryana. What's been the USP of RKSD as an institution?
Kaithal is a small town, agricultural dominated, 200 kilometers from Delhi and around 100 kilometers from Chandigarh. And we are a major college in the region. And during this time, we have worked in several directions. Number one, we have tried to outreach the community. We collected huge amount of money and transferred it to PM Corona Fund and Haryana CM Corona Relief Fund. On a single call given by me, all my faculty friends, they donated from their salary and own resources an amount ranging from 100 rupees to 50,000 rupees, and we were able to collect 7 lakh rupees for donation. And to top it up, the college management added 4 lakh, and we were able to transfer 11 lakh for the relief fund. The second one, district administration wanted us to donate PPE or N95 masks. After exhausting this option, then I appealed to the retired faculty of the college as well as members of the management, and they wholeheartedly gave donations, and we were able to generate a fund out of which we provided 1,095 masks to frontline workers in district administration. At the same time, out of this fund, we are maintaining the safety measures for the workers and visitors in our institution.
Deeply impressed, Dr. Goyal, by your sense of commitment to the society at large and your care and concern. It's very telling. It's a very integral part of education. So I congratulate you for all your efforts on that front. I noticed that you mentioned the word rural. You pronounced the word rural, and obviously, which brings me to my next logical question, is that would one be fair in anticipating that a large part of your student fraternity would be from the rural environment? A, that, and B, very importantly, would agriculture and subjects around that be key in your education dissemination? Because what's also opportune at this point of time is that one of the biggest recoveries and the strengthening sectors, thankfully also to the good monsoon, has been agriculture.
We have a student strength of around 50% from rural areas and 50% from Cathal town. The total is around 5,000. And the effect of COVID-19 has been limited to, majorly limited to the urban areas. And in our region, in villages, it did not spread as much. As of today also, villages are still clean from the effect from COVID-19. And that is the reason that they were able to do their agriculture activities, and the recovery in this sector with the help of course, monsoon has been really good.
Now tell us about your understanding of the new education policy. It throws open an entire gamut of opportunities, rethinking, reflection. How have you as an organization planned and structured and strategized to adapt to it?
According to our vision, we're utilizing this period of Unlock 1, Unlock 2 in upgrading the infrastructure of the college and creating facilities for the coming times, as we felt a dire need of digital learning in the college due to this corona pandemic. And now when we have gone through the new education policy, we find that they are removing the barriers from learning. The new education policy has a vision in which a learner can go to higher education and he can have the choice of his own. If he wants to pursue the courses in science as well as in arts or commerce, there is no barrier. And the good thing that new education policy envisages for us is that they are allowing the foreign universities to work in India and also Indian university to work in foreign countries. So we are opening up, and as a college, we are preparing ourselves in digital learning. Our faculty is being upgraded on day-to-day basis. For all these 4 or 5 months, we have been holding quizzes, webinars, faculty development programs, keeping the faculty busy, interacting with the students. So I think the new education policy is bringing new hope for us, and with uh, the thinking in which scientific aptitude has been upgraded, it will be better for the society, it will be better for the country, and better for humanity as well.
That having been said, it's very reassuring, very insightful of credible educators like yourself to be able to invoke a sense of confidence in the implementation of the new education policy, particularly when the only apprehensions about the new education policy is the ground reality and the challenges of implementation, particularly on two accounts, Dr. Goyal. One is on how do you train the teacher, which is a big challenge, because there's a need to first unlearn and relearn, and that requires very intense commitment both on part of the institution to educate the teacher themselves to educate themselves, as well as the second thing, which you did touch upon, but I'd like a little more intense and a more elaborate explanation as to how do you bridge a very potent digital divide, because digital infrastructure is again a two-way process. It just doesn't require putting devices in the hands of the students and the teachers. It requires a very strong bandwidth as well.
For the last few months, or say a year or two, in this area, there was effect of digitization. Smartphone was in the hands of almost 50-60% students, and at the same time, we were also learning the tools, because ICT has been promoted as a quality enhancement tool for higher education. So we were struggling with this. All of a sudden, pandemic came, and with it, we were forced to implement all of our teaching activity online. And I think that has helped us in learning the tools of ICT, and today we are better placed. And also, there are certain issues that the student who may be belonging to a weaker section, and for him to purchase data may be an issue. The state government is also helping out them by providing them facilities through college principals to purchase data. And that expenditure will be met by the government through the concerned colleges. So after some problems in the beginning, I am hopeful that with time we will be able to learn and deliver better in digital teaching.
Very encouraging, sir. Very encouraging, exactly. Now, one distinct trend, Dr. Goyal, that seems to be emerging post the coronavirus environment is that the students, of course, are in a state of flux. There's a lot of uncertainty in their minds. Some of them are even contemplating a gap year. They and particularly their parents are not very open to the idea of sending them to a distant location to study, which is essentially, it's regionalizing the catchment of students for education. Right? People are trying to find universities around their area, their proximity. Now, if that trend intensifies, and God forbid the coronavirus situation does not improve dramatically, in the weeks to come, would you be at a state of disadvantage or advantage? Because a lot of your catchment, I understand, is from rural India, but you've also got a huge opportunity from two distinct urban areas of Delhi and Chandigarh.
Yes, you are right. It may be disadvantage in short-term basis. For coming few months, student may be suffering with lack of instructions from the teachers. But I don't think that they will be confined to their regions, because in its wake, the problem is also bringing an opportunity of digital learning. And with this digital learning, the barriers of region are also being explored. So the tomorrow's student will not be limited to his own region. He may be taking a course from Stanford University, a value-added course, while being a teacher of RKSD College, Cathal. I think the opportunities that digital learning brings for the students will outweigh the disadvantages in short term that are to be confronted by the student.
Dr. Goel, when I speak to you, what impresses me is a high sense of calm in your conversation, in the way you present yourself, and that calm can only come from a very deep knowledge, a strong experience, and a very intense reflection on the scenario around you. So tell us about your experience, your personal experience, your
Yes.
career. Inspire us, Dr. Goel.
Mr. Sharma, I can't say that I have deep knowledge, but I have had certain experience of working in this institution for the last 34 years. The more that is keeping me calm is the commitment to the cause of teaching, the cause of higher education, and I am very much satisfied with the results that are coming with efforts of all my colleagues in the institution, and we are today very much placed as far as our results are there. We are one of the best colleges affiliated to Kurukshetra University, which take part in cultural activities. We are good at NCC also, NSS also, and our academics. In our academics, in the last semester, we had 24 merit positions. So this has been the result of our efforts of my and my colleagues. And whatever I have learned is from this very college, because I joined RKSD College as lecturer in physics in 1986 after doing MSc from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. And during my tenure in this college, I went for research also, and groundwater was the area of my specialization, with application as an application of remote sensing and geographical information system, that is GIS. And I didn't stop there only with getting the degree. I was lucky enough to present my work in 7 to 8 countries, including USA, Australia, Austria, and Canada, China, like that. And for all such conferences that I attended, I had invitation and funding from the countries of Australia, China, as well as Canada. And for rest of the conferences, the University Grants Commission and Department of Science and Technology sponsored me. And I also worked for a major research project on groundwater in the area, studying the problems of quality and availability in district Kathak.
I was absolutely right in stating that your rich experiences contributed to your great sense of calm in your demeanor. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Dr. Goel. Now we want to take a pleasure to learn from you, simply because you've shown immense, not just loyalty and commitment in this number of years you spent in one institution. It also speaks not just volumes of you as a character, it also speaks volumes of the university, which has allowed you to evolve and grow, which is always, it's always a pleasure to note this sense of this symbiotic, relationship. So, the pleasure to learn from you will be on 4 accounts. And a spot of advice which I'd like from you, to our viewers, and from me, of course, as well, as I learn from you, is how would you want A, the Vice Chancellor, B, the teacher, C, the parent, and D, the student to respond to the current scenario? What would be your advice to them, sir?
All of them have their own problems, all of them have their own responsibilities, and the job of the Vice Chancellor will be to address only and only the student, and keeping in mind the requirements of the student, he must help the university and the faculty to gain anything which can help the student. If there is need of providing certain facilities, certain training to faculty, certain facilities to the university. It will be the duty of the Vice Chancellor to do all that. The parents should encourage their ward for learning, and at the same time, in current scenario, they must be very careful in defending themselves from the threat from COVID-19. And similarly for the teacher also, he has to learn daily, on daily basis. Teacher is a student first and teacher later. And every day and every moment he learns something, and I think a teacher should continue to be a student.
I often end my conversations with one letter, which is a great takeaway. So for you, I look at the letter P very closely. The first P stands for pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure in just not just conversing with you and learning from you, but just by your entire demeanor and your sense of calm and care, which is really very telling. The second P is practical. I've seen just that how you're rooted to the ground in whatever you do. So that's the practical approach is very critical, as well as pragmatism. You've shown a lot of pragmatism. A deep sense of purpose is the fourth P. The commitment and purpose is really telling. And your final P is progressive. Whatever you do, you choose to ensure that you are progressive. That truly makes you, Dr. S.K. Goyal, a very wise chancellor.
I think you are doing a wonderful job. The interactions that you are doing with educational administrators will be encouraging for the others who are doing good, and it will also be giving confidence to the student community that there are certain people who are thinking about them also.